Hi, I'm Jessica. I'm your certified life coach, and I thought I would start out these self-love sessions by telling you about the time when I discovered that I needed to bring more self-love into my life and stop abandoning myself. So a few years ago, I was feeling pretty overwhelmed and confused as to why I had so much anxiety and overwhelm in my life. From the outside looking in, things were pretty normal. I had a 2-year-old son and I was married and I was just going through the paces. Some of the things that I used to love doing had slipped away, and I dedicated more time to my family and I was still working. And I thought that that's basically what people do. It's what people are expected to do. But I started to see a therapist because I felt like there was more to life that I was missing, but I didn't really know why. I had such a big desire for change and I kind of just really wanted to shake everything up. Um, and she said to me, Jessica, what are you so afraid of? I'm like, excuse me. What do you mean? What am I so afraid of? Like, I'm looking to take a chance on new things, try new things. And she was just like, no, 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 you're already doing so much. Um, and she said, but you obviously have a need to control things. You have a need to control people, places, and things. I'm like, oh, excuse me. I don't understand how this all like correlates. What do you mean I'm controlling? I'm being really kind. I'm helping people out. And she's like, no, no, no. You are taking the responsibility off other people. You're not giving them a chance to show you who they are. And in your workplace, you're doing extra tasks that you're not being paid for. So what are you so afraid of? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Can you prompt me a little further here? And she's just like, okay, just take a workplace example. You do something, it's not, you haven't been asked to do it, it's not in your pay scale. Maybe it's because you're bored, but let's just say that you decide to do something that you don't have to do, but it's helpful. What would happen if you didn't do it? And I thought, well, it probably wouldn't get done in that workplace at the time. And she was like, okay, how would it feel to not have that done? Like, ooh, a little bit of anxiety, nothing too big. And she was just like, okay, but anxiety is based in fear. So there's some sort of something making you uncomfortable there. I said, okay, I get where you're going. And I was also helping people out, giving them lifts. Sometimes giving them a ride would make me late for the thing that I had to go to. But, I thought that was whatever. She's like, okay, what if you didn't do that? I'm like, oh, some of these people may not get to their work. And these are people I love and that I rely on and blah, blah, blah. She's just like, okay, so these people might disappoint you. I said, yeah. She's like, well, how do you deal with when loved ones disappoint you? And I'm like, oh, you're right. I don't really give them the chance to, I fix it. I fix. She's like, okay, you abandon yourself so that other people don't abandon you. I'm like, oh, okay. So we started to learn how to set some healthy boundaries. Some people disappeared from my life when you start setting healthy boundaries. People who disappear from your life when you start setting boundaries were usually people who were benefiting from your lack of boundaries. So then I began to start to feel the depths of aloneness. The not having chaos in my life felt really uncomfortable. But then I started to be able to recognize when things were in alignment with me. I was able to accept more and more love into my life from myself and from other people. And from some of the deepest depths, I got to experience some of the highest highs. So I would never go back to the way things were before and abandon myself the same way ever again. So I've taken back my power now. I don't have to work as hard and I benefit a lot more from my life. And I want to see you step into that power too.